there was an interview between Kareem Jackson, who used to play for the Texans with Deshaun Watson. He's now a Denver Bronco. He was on the Catch and Fades podcast with Aqib Talib, who was also a former Bronco. And, I'm kind of paraphrasing the quote here, but basically he said that when Deshaun Watson was considering re-signing his deal with Houston, to which he signed like a 6-year deal or something like that. It was a pretty big deal.
I think it was like an 8-year deal.
So he re-signed, but he was kind of on the fence about it, and he kind of was contemplating going to the Broncos. And now he's saying that, apparently that's where he wants to be now. He wants to be in Denver. He thinks that's the spot for him. I just thought it was interesting because, Denver really is one of the only teams left right now on paper that's like they have a glaring quarterback hole. They have Bridgewater, they have Drew Lock, but I think pretty much everyone is kind of thinking that neither one of those guys is going to get them where they need to be.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson is a superstar.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just think about it from this way. Wouldn't that be fun to watch him play Mahomes twice a year in the division? That'd be a lot of fun.
Mahomes can clown him.
With Herbert?
Yeah.
That'd be a fun division to watch.
That would be, absolutely.
But right now, Deshaun Watson is in a bevy of legal troubles, it sounds like. And that's also been kind of quiet as of late. There's not been a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk was saying that because he's got background in law and stuff. So he was kind of saying that when we're at this point where there's not a lot of rumblings coming out, that most likely he's working on some deals with people. So there could be light at the end of the tunnel. But even so, when he does get back, you got to assume he's going to be missing some time just because of suspensions and stuff. Just all this. So there's a lot going on here. But ultimately, when the dust settles, he'll probably be back in the league. He doesn't want to be on the Texans. The Texans seem like they're warming up to the idea with life without him. I think they've addressed their quarterback room in the offseason in case he's not there. They drafted a guy. They signed Tyrod Taylor.
That's right.
Do you think that Deshaun Watson has a legitimate shot ending up as a Houston Texan? As a Denver Bronco.
Okay, Denver Bronco. Yeah, I guess. I don't see Denver as a good team.
Right.
And I guess it possibly has to do with the division they play in. Possibly has to do with that one missing piece of a quarterback. But at the same time, it's I don't know. They have a bunch of no names that are actually good on that team?
Here are some names. Okay. They have a couple names. They have Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton is the one I know.
Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, that's right.
They got Noah Fant. Tight end.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential.
They have Melvin Gordon, a running back. I don't know who else they have behind him.
Do they still have Philip Lindsay?
I think he's either gone or he's gonna be gone pretty quick here because his deal's coming to an end, or maybe it's over. I don't know. He's not really a factor, I guess, at this point, to be honest.
I guess, yeah.
But their defense, though, I mean, they still got Von Miller. They got Bradley Chubb. They got Justin Simmons, who's a really darn good
I think they have Brandon
safety.
Marshall still, too, right? The linebacker.
I think they do.
Not to be confused with the wide receiver.
Yeah. But they also brought in Kyle Fuller via trade.
That's right, yeah. I think they also signed...
And they drafted Surtain in the draft.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, they got some pieces on there for sure.
Yeah,
Von Miller will be interesting to see how he... if they want to bring him
there too.
He is, and I don't know what his production is at this point. I don't know if they would want to bring him back and when his deal's up, but I mean, he's still somewhat of a household name. They really are. Okay, I'll put it this way: they're not a Super Bowl team in my eyes, but they are a good, competent quarterback away from at least competing for a playoff spot. The problem is that they're in an AFC that's loaded with good teams, and the playoff slots have kind of expanded a bit, so there's a little more wiggle room.
3 wild cards now.
You can get in there with maybe a 9-7 record if you're, if it's kind of a tight race. But I mean, this isn't the team that won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning a couple years ago.
Oh no!
I mean, this isn't that level of team. So I don't think they can compete with the Browns, the Chiefs, the Ravens,
Bills, Titans,
Dolphins,
Colts.
There's a lot of teams that are better than them. So they can uphill climb. Even in their own division, you can make an argument they're the worst team in the division.
Yeah, probably.
You could.
Without that competent quarterback, I think they're definitely the worst team in that division without that competent quarterback.
I think there's got to be some interest from them on this because we talked about it around draft time that there was a story out there saying that Rodgers was trying to go to Denver and they were working on maybe they were talking kind of thing. So I think Denver would love to have that happen because they've loved getting a quarterback like since Manning left, pretty much.
Okay,
I mean, we saw snaps from Brent Ripien last year. I mean, give me a break.
You're Denver's GM.
Okay,
you have the green.
Not
light.
John Elway. He's not the GM anymore.
No.
It's George Payton now.
Yeah. You have the green light on Rodgers, and you have the green light on Watson. Who are you trading for?
I guess I'm going Watson. I know that
it's the age thing, right?
Well, that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And I understand the legal aspects of Watson here, but like we're assuming that when he's back, he'll be back.
Yeah.
And he'll be playing. He's still like 26, 25, very young. He's one of those guys that you can throw in there to compete against Mahomes and Justin Herbert for the next 10 years. And we just talked about it. I mean, we don't think this is a Super Bowl team right now. So if they have Rodgers, that's the kind of team that would benefit best from Rodgers, is a team like the 49ers or something that's like they're at the cusp. Like they could make it. The Packers, they're at the cusp. They could make it to the Super Bowl. Based on what we just talked about, I think the Broncos
are
with him. I think they won the NFC Championship 2 years in a row.
They didn't make it last year.
Yeah, they did. They played the Bucs.
Oh, that's right, they did.
And they had the
That's true.
call.
Okay. Yeah, I take it back. They probably are on the cusp.
But just for longevity and like the future of the franchise, if I'm the GM, I think Deshaun Watson is that's weird to say, but kind of a safer bet.
Yeah, probably.
I'm assuming when all this stuff comes to a head, he'll probably clean it up a little bit. And
I don't know. At this rate, I mean, like it seems like quarterbacks are playing like well into their 40s. I know not every quarterback is Tom Brady, but Rodgers is like, 37? He's coming off an MVP caliber season.
Yeah.
So I think I would probably take Rodgers in this instance.
You probably could get Rodgers for less than Watson too.
Probably, yeah.
Like you could probably get Rodgers for like a first and maybe some other draft stuff. And I feel like Watson, you're gonna have to bring up the Brinks truck and
they're probably gonna be looking for a lot considering they have 0 draft capital.
Oh yeah, right. The Texans. Yeah, I mean this is if you really want to jumpstart the Texans rebuild, I mean, this would be a nice trade to do and to get a haul of assets for. Like, they need draft capital to build this team because they're in such rough shape, and they can get a bag for him. I didn't even think about that stuff.
Yeah, super interesting.